In the early 20th century, as the British Empire tightened its grip on East Africa, one woman stood against the tide of colonialism. Her name was Mekatilili Menza, a 53-year-old widow from the Mijikenda people of Kenya. While her story has been overshadowed by colonial narratives, her impact on Kenya's fight for independence was profound. Mekatilili was born in the 1860s in Gandera, a small village in the heart of Mijikenda territory. Her early life was marked by the cultural richness of her community, but it was also a time of growing tension as British colonial forces began to encroach on their lands. By 1913, Mekatilili had become a widow and a mother figure in her community. It was in this role that she found her calling as a leader. The British colonial administration had begun imposing heavy taxes and seizing land, threatening the very survival of the Mijikenda people. Mekatilili knew she had to act. She organized the famila, a secret oath-taking ceremony that united the Mijikenda against the British. This spiritual oath required participants to swear not to pay taxes or work for the colonial government. The famila was so effective that it caused a complete economic shutdown in the region, forcing the British to negotiate. Mekatilili's tactics were unconventional for her time. While male leaders often relied on military force, she used spiritual rituals and nonviolent resistance to mobilize her people. One of her most famous acts of defiance occurred during her arrest. As British soldiers captured her, Mekatilili performed a ritual where she killed a chicken and declared that the British would die like the chicken if they continued their oppression. This act of spiritual defiance was recorded in colonial logs but has been largely omitted from mainstream history. Her arrest in 1913 marked the beginning of a long period of exile. She was imprisoned in Kisumu, then deported to Lomo, and later held in Mombasa. Despite her captivity, her influence continued to inspire resistance among her people. The exact details of her death remain a mystery, but it is believed she died in the 1920s, either in exile or shortly after returning home. Mekatilili's legacy was suppressed by the British colonial administration, which labeled her a witch or madwoman in an attempt to delegitimize her leadership. For decades, her name was erased from official records, and no monument was built in her honor. It wasn't until the 2010s that Kenya began to recognize her contributions. In 2013, the Kenyan government officially declared her a national hero, and her story is now taught in primary school curricula. She is celebrated annually on October 20th as Mekatilili Day, a testament to her enduring impact. Her story is not just one of resistance but also of cultural preservation. The Mijikenda community has revived the famila oath as a form of cultural resistance against modern land grabbing by foreign corporations. Mekatilili's leadership, rooted in her role as a mother figure and spiritual mediator, continues to inspire African women's rights movements. Organizations like the African Women's Development Fund cite her as a pioneer of female leadership in political resistance. Today, her story is gaining recognition beyond Kenya. A monument in her honor was erected in Gandera in 2015, becoming a tourist destination for those interested in pre-colonial African history. Yet, despite these efforts, Mekatilili Menza remains a largely forgotten figure outside East Africa. Her life reminds us of the power of spiritual resistance and the importance of preserving the stories of those who fought against colonial oppression. Mekatilili Menza was more than a leader, she was a symbol of hope and resilience for her people. Her story challenges us to remember the forgotten heroes of history and to honor their contributions to the fight for freedom and equality.